Basai. Hello, it's Keith Yates again. Today we're going to be looking at Basai Kata. Well, actually Basai Dai or Basai Major. Now, Basai is a very old form, going back all the way, some say, to Chinese martial arts. Certainly it was popular in the Okinawan systems, where frequently it's called Pasai with a P sound. Now, if you go on to YouTube and look at some other videos, you're going to see a lot of variations, all the way from Wado-Ryu to Shotokan. Even Korean Tang Soo Do, which of course is the Korean version of Japanese karate, has its own version of Basai. That's the one that I originally learned back in the mid-1960s and that was adapted into the early forms of Taekwondo. Now, when Jun Reed told us to change to the newly minted Chang Hong patterns, my instructor, Alan Steen, decided to keep some of the old Tang Soo Do forms, one of which was Basai. In his 1973 book, Gichin Funakoshi translates it as breaking through the fortress. Well, what follows are some excerpts from a class that I recently taught on this pattern. Now, obviously, with so many different schools using the same form, there are obvious variations and even differing applications. Now, even if you're from the original American Taekwondo family tree of Jun Rhee, Alan Steen, and Pat Burleson, changes have crept in over the years. The way we'll be doing it here is the way that I originally learned it back in the mid-1960s. Well, with one notable exception, which you're going to see shortly. For right now, let's go ahead and practice Basai Dai. You fall into it. Turn. Left hand, right hand. About face. Left hand, right hand. Now, different styles will do this differently. In some Korean styles, they actually pull it way down. Using the dragon school. You all still do that? Okay. Well, I come back, I pull the foot up, but I don't pull my hand down, so I still come back up, strike. Okay, now, come up, clear, punch, scoop, punch, scoop, punch. Again, you'll see some styles that actually go, and they turn into a stance here. We don't, we just, boom. I still, however, do a fold for my Soo Do, my knife hand, low the way I originally learned it. So let's pull in. 1, 2, 3. 1 backwards. Okay, now here's where I made the change or adjustment. I'm going to step up here, grab, kick low. Soo Do. 1 more Soo Do. Pull back. Some of you guys know in front of the forehead. Hands come down to your hips. Right knee up. Double punch. Second punch. Okay. Step over with the back foot. Groin. Back. Reach underneath. Now, I still kick my hand. Okay. Some styles they just do a low pressing kick. The Koreans kick their hands. I can still get my foot up that high. So let's kick the hand. Elbow. Right hand up, left hand down. Switch, switch. Pull back. The U punch. Pull back onto your right hip. Kick. U punch. Pull back on the left hip. Kick. U punch. Turn. Scooping block. Scooping block. Soo Do. Now notice the position of the hands. Arm not too far out. This one basically across the solar plexus because you're covering your body here. Back. Chip. Now before I get into the practical application or bunkai of the Basai Kata, let me give you a little commercial. You can go to my website, akato.org, and order the latest version of my book, the complete book of Taekwondo forms. That's got all the Chang Hong patterns plus the 3 Tang Soo Do forms that we still do in our curriculum. That's Chogi, Basai, and Sipsu. You'll also get a code, if you buy the book, to unlock the basic version of the app, which has got the first 5 forms in the system. Or you can go to the Apple or the Android store and purchase the entire app, which has got all of the forms in it, plus some bunkai, plus some weapons kata. But enough of the commercial. Let's go on to the practical application, the bunkai of Basai Kata. Incidentally, what is this? Is this a technique?
Yes, sir.
What?
Kickboxer.
Yes. Yeah. So it could be just, a presentation, okay? Or it could be right in here. So I kind of like to think of everything we do as a technique. He starts to commit a tackle. Did you see the technique out of there? If you look at my hand in the mirror, there's a slight drop off between my first 2 knuckles and my little knuckle. You see that? As opposed to like straight. I tell students sometimes take your little pinky finger and just squeeze it. That accentuates the first 2 knuckles, because that's what you're supposed to be hitting with. You guys know when you do knuckle push-ups, sometimes we get up from knuckle push-ups and we say, look at your knuckles. Where are the dents? The first 2 or the pinky knuckle? So it's on the pinky knuckle, you weren't holding your hand correctly. It should be the first 2. And so it helps sometimes, I find, you squeeze the pinky and you kind of stick those 2 big knuckles out. Okay. I mentioned the fold here. You guys do that in your school? You fold here or here? Go high. Okay. But what is this? This one seems kind of weird. Every motion has a practical application. Yeah. So again, so let's just say you grab my wrist. So I'm going to pull back here. Okay, he's pretty strong. Okay. So what if I do this? Okay, so I'm So that's all that is. And what if you punch me with the other hand? All right. I don't have to do that. I can do something like this. I'll come around here. Let's do the other fold on Soo Do. Knife hand, which is this one. Okay. Are you going to punch me here? See what I've done? I've covered. So, this is the cover. So the hand that I'm going to end up chopping with is the one that crosses my face. The other hand is underneath. It's not useless because it goes into a grab. All right, well, before we go any further, let's break down a couple more of those steps. Because I know for some of you, you don't do that kata, or at least not this way. So again, I don't want to say what you're doing in your school is wrong, but maybe show you a couple of the things that we do that make sense. When you come something like boom, boom, you got 2. So what am I doing? Punches me, I do this. Okay, so what's the other one? You punch me with the other hand, and I'm trying to get underneath. That seems like a long way to go for it, right? Seems like I'm probably going to get hit. What I like to think of when you do these double ones is the first one is the deflection. So see what I did here? This one stepped in. So when you go. Notice how I stepped in. Because what I did was the first one kept him from hitting me. The second one jammed him. Now I'm in close. Because if and I trap him here, that's much harder. Let's go back and talk about that little kick again that I did. I did a kick to the inside of his thigh there. If you go to YouTube and you look at some different styles doing Basai, some of them will do a front kick there, some will do a hook kick, a crescent kick in, some will do an outside round kick this way. So, which one is it? We do a front kick. We just do front kick. But it could easily be any one of those three. So when you see a style that comes here, their explanation is I'm hooking the inside of the guy's calf muscle, let's say. You see somebody doing a kick here, he's kicking to the inside of the thigh. So again, you're just learning a principle. Pull them in, kick the back leg. So whether one style does it this way or one style does it this way, it really doesn't matter, just how they're explaining it. When I teach it to my advanced students, hopefully, I say, it could be this, it could be this. So you understand the principle as opposed to, on the kata, you only do a front kick, so that's all I'm doing. No, it could be whatever. A lot of it depends on what you can do, where he's standing, the situation. I just want to break his balance. Oh no, I want to break his leg. So just whatever you want to do. Okay, let's do the U. Let's do the U punch. Okay, this is one of those ones that, again, a technique that's kind of misunderstood. You know, like, well, what are you doing? Are you hitting him both hands simultaneously? Okay. So all I'm doing is turning this over, which will prevent him at least from hitting me really fast with this hand. So let's say he wanted to grab and punch, you know, which he might be doing, right? So by grabbing me and I do this, now that's just going to slow you down. Now he could let go, right? I'm not holding on to him. But he's holding on to me, and psychologically he's just got me. It's like, you know, it takes him a second to realize what's happening. Bam. Which is this. You see the motion right there? In fact, if I wanted to, right, I could do exactly what we just did in the kata. Which is this.